I'm Bets Golden. Thank you so much for joining me today on my channel. I wanted to talk about something. I'm actually going to make 6 cards with you today. And I've already done a lot of the prep work as to save time. But there's something that I discovered about 15 years ago, and that is the Card Confidence Program by Close to My Heart. Sadly, they no longer offer this. However, they do have like 4 volumes of I want to call them sketches, so to speak, that are available, and those are going to be my next purchase. But my point in using this is to show you that the using a sketch when you do your cards or a layout is timeless. It doesn't matter if your sketchbook is 10 to 15 years old, 20 years old. It's going to be timeless. And so I actually am going to be pulling from this book. What I did was I modified it and I did the Celebration Card Workshop. I wanted some nice 6x6 cards. These are actually 5.5 by 5.5 to fit into an envelope. And I only wanted 6, but the Card Confidence Program makes 12. And they give you a really, really nice diagram, a cutting directions. And then as you go through, you can actually, it shows you how to put together each card, which is really nice. And I've already, like I said, I've already gotten my stuff prepped to show you, and I'll show you how I did that. Basically, I took the sketches that were offered, the cutting diagrams, and just cut them down into half. So instead of doing 2 6Bs, I did 1 6B. And what 6 is that's the number card, B is the piece that the card goes to. Really easy to follow. Like I said, this is no longer offered, but I'm sure you could probably find this, on eBay or a secondhand store or something, because this is a really great book. I have all of these editions, and if you go and check out the link down below, you can get the new version of these, which is really nice. I can't wait to get my hands on those. I'm ordering those next month, but I think I'm going to get a lot of use. And it's not only for cards, it's for scrapbook layouts as well. So make sure you go check that out so it can give you a resource. So let's go ahead and work on the cards. And today I am using older, this is a whole bunch of old Close to My Heart stuff, simply because that's what I have in my stash. This stuff is awesome. It still tends to hold up after all these years. So the colors that I used are Crystal Blue, Honey, Black, and Sweet Leaf. So these are the 3 colors, and I haven't bothered to replace my inks because they still work and they're still awesome. So, and they match the colors. So I haven't bothered to replace the inks. That's an expensive investment that I'm not willing to do. And then the line that I used for this is called Penelope. It also is an older line. So I really dug in my stash to do this. And for my card bases, instead of just going for a plain white, I opted for some beautiful glittery type paper, which is going to require me to use glue instead of adhesive on those base colors. Now, for the sake of, saving time, I did cut everything out and I organized it all. I stamped my images, and I'm just going to make these cards. So for this is card number 1, and I cut out the images. Hello for joining me. Not only did everything out, I also inked the edges just to make it pop. This is going through the mail, so I really don't want it to be super bulky, so it's important that I really jazz up the elements that I do have on this card. And then I use the Ink Road stamps. This is, gosh, what is this one? I've had it in my stash for a while. It's one of the Easter ones. I love the sayings. I think they're so funny. So I incorporated these stamped images into this. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to assemble the card. And I need to lay it flat, and that will help it not have a bounce to it. And I'm just going to adhere 1B first. 1A was the card base. So we're going to put down 1B first. And again, since this is going directly on glitter, I do need to make sure I use glue or else, yeah, it's not gonna hold very well if I try to use anything else. Now for this, since I'm going to be putting paper on paper, I can go ahead and just use my adhesive. So I'm going to set my glue aside, and this is my next sheet. And what I like about this paper is it is double-sided, so I could kind of choose which side I wanted to put down on my card. And by doing it this way, I really like using the same type stamp set, the same stamp set, and the same cardstock and the same pattern paper, because what that allows you to do is you get a cohesiveness, and it looks like, if I wanted to sell these, it looks like it all belongs together, right? So that is, but it's not so uniform that the entire set looks like, I get bored with it. It's uniform enough where you know that it all goes together, it's super cute, but it's also different enough so that it's like, oh, okay, I don't get bored with it. So for this one, I just took, for this little egg, I'm going to pop it with some pop dots right there. And I used the Sweet Leaf and Crystal Blue. I put my base color down first in the Crystal and the Sweet Leaf, and then I added my little egg on top with the Crystal Blue. So everything coordinates together. It all goes well together. And then I'm just going to put this right here. And then card number 1 is pretty much done with the exception of the sentiment. So for card number 2, I'm going to go on. And again, here are my pieces. And for this one, I stamped the Sentiment Road stamp set Happy Easter up here. And then I stamped 2 of the cute little eggs right here. And then I'm just going to pop this on like so. And then I'm going to use some Nuvo drops just up above the top to give it a little bit more personality. And again, I have to use my glue on this because it's going on glitter. And glitter is not always our friend, since that nothing wants to stick to it. If you're trying to use a glitter base and you don't know why anything's sticking to it, it's probably because you're not using a liquid adhesive. All right, and this one's super simple. And I could go and add some ribbon to this if I wanted to, but it's kind of fun just to get the base done. This also, you guys, this is my cheater set. Like when I was on a ton of design teams, I would run out of ideas on how to do something. I would just flush out ideas. And so if I needed to come up with a card, oftentimes I would pull out this little sketchbook that I'm using, and I would do my card off of one of the sketches. Now I have to open this up. That was stupid. I should have opened it up. Oh well. Because when you close your card, it creates a bounce. And if you're stamping images or laying things out, it does not always go on even. All right, so this one here, I'm going to do 2 down here. Oh, I put in the link down below in the description box, you guys. Tonic Studios, all of their Nuvo crystal drops, every single Nuvo drop is on sale this month, up to 40% off. So I put down all of my favorites down below so you guys can take advantage of that sale if you want. And they even have dies out that are made to use in conjunction with the drops. and that is 50% off. So I provided that for you just down below because it's a really smoking great deal. I ordered, I think, $100 worth of stuff for 40 bucks because I ordered 2 of those dies. So yeah. All right, so this is card 3, and again, I'm going to be using my adhesive on this. I'm loving this multi-grip by Beacon. They gave me some at Creativation, and I'm almost out of it. I'm panicking because I love it so much. It's so good. And then for this one, actually I think I am going to keep it folded. It doesn't seem to be bouncing too much. Put this one down here about 1 inch off, and you know, I am following off to the side my little sketchbook. So I am on card number 3, this one right here. So I am following what it says to do. And then for this, I can just use some adhesive, my tape runner, this one off to the side. And then we have these cute little chicks that I thought were absolutely perfect for Easter. And when I would make these, sometimes I would make 12 of these. I would make a set of 12. And it would take me roughly 2 to 3 hours. And that's top to bottom. Stamping, assembling, and then even addressing. So they come together super quick. You're a good egg. And then that looks a little bit dull down here. So I'm going to go ahead and add just a couple of these little dots. The color that I'm using is simply white. So I'm just going to put a couple of these down. I really love these drops. They just help add that something extra to your cards and your layouts when you don't know quite what else to put on. Okay, so now we are going on to card number 4. See how fast these are coming together. And number 4, I have 3. I love this layout. It's so simple, but it is so cute. I have 3 little eggs. Aren't they cute? And I used the Sweet Leaf, Honey, Crystal Blue, and then I did the black for all the outlines. I love these little eggs, and this just the whole sarcasm of some of these sentiments are so funny and wonderful. Alright, so for this one, this goes roughly right here. And can you see how this is creating cards that are uniform, that they're not matchy-matchy. I personally cannot sit down and create 24 of the same cards. That to me drives me nuts. So I have to definitely do things a little bit. I have to just vary it up just a little bit. I gotta, or else I don't enjoy it. And I have to enjoy what I'm doing when I'm crafting. Otherwise, what's the point? You know? Alright. There's this one. And then, you know, now that I got the Nuvo drops out, I just can't stop myself. So I'm going to put one here, 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 and here. So by adding pop dots to your stamped images that you've cut out, it really does add a little bit more interest than just stamping them and leaving them flat. Okay, so now we're going on to card number 5. Now, if you want to make 4x3 cards, go over, this is what I say, I go over to Michael's or Joann's, and they have like those 4 for 10 sales on their 8.5 by 11 packs of cardstock. I know that they're not the best quality, but for a card base that I'm not stamping on, I'm just gluing on, I'm totally okay with that. And that is what I do for my A2 sizes. An A2 size is a 4.25 by 5.5 card base. So if you take and if you cut your 8.5 by 11 card base down, it just in half, just cut it in half, you will have absolutely no waste and you'll have the perfect A2 size. So keep that in mind whenever you are making an A2 card, is just to use, I mean, you can get a pack of those for $2.50 on that sale, which I think is a really, really great deal. So for this one, I'm going to put this here. And I actually think I'm going to use pop dots on this just to make it jump a little bit. And this is card 5. All right. And I'm really trying not to dump my cards I make into my other cards because I do have the crystal drops all over them, which are still wet. So that's no good. We don't want to do that. All right, so this is going to go on up here. And then for this one, I'm going to add this down here. And then I pulled in just a simple button from my stash to go on this as well. I thought that that was going to be a nice, cute little addition. I'm surprised that my dogs are not jumping up on they're outside right now because the floors were mopped. And they I don't want to get them dirty again, so I put them outside. It's really nice here today, so I had to wait until it warmed up, but it's beautiful outside. They're happy. They have a dog shed, a dog water, and it's like 77 degrees outside. So, but I'm surprised. Usually if they hear me in here and they're out there, they jump on the window and they're like, "What are you doing?" The joys of 3 Goldens. Okay, so I'm just going to take my button and put that down here like so, and I'm going to call that one good. And then we're on our last card. So yeah, I'm gonna have these 6. So granted, I did cut everything, ink everything, stamp everything last night, and it took me, I think it took me about an hour and a half, maybe. Again, I'm using this liquid adhesive by Beacon because it will hold to my glitter. And then this one, this is so cute too. Let me grab this. So this is all out of that sketchbook. Really cute stuff. And then I'll show you what I'm going to do to the envelopes. I am a huge mail art fanatic. Actually on my blog yesterday, on my website, I shared an envelope that I made. It's with Jelly Press, and I didn't start doing it until I had a conversation with my, and come to find out, postmen love mail art. It really brightens their day. They actually read what's written on it. So I have always gone into, I love to just, do the mail art. And I got some sassy stamps, one of which says something like, so do you still have a crush on your mailman, or do you still think your mailman's sexy, or something like that. I send those to my mom because she laughs at it. She thinks it's so funny. She goes, "Oh, that's so disgraceful." And I'm like, "I know, I'm the disgraceful daughter." But anyway, I'm going to show you kind of how I do an envelope, just so you can get an idea. I did get a new envelope stamp set that I thought was kind of cute, and I thought I would share it with you because these are done. So here we go. These are 6 little cards, and they measure 5.5 by 5.5 because my envelopes are truly 6 by 6. But look at that. They all go together, but they're not totally, totally matchy. And they came together relatively quickly. With the hour and a half that I spent last night and the just under 20 minutes, I was able to create 6 cards in 2 hours. And these are ready to go as soon as they dry. So let me move these off and pull out my envelope. And all you really need to do this is you just need your favorite stamp set. It doesn't even, I mean, you could technically use this stamp set too. Use the one that you made the cards with. That would be really cute. But honestly, I have this new set, and you know how it is. You have a new set, you're itching to use it. And so I want to play with my new set. So that's what I'm going to do. And it is This Is Not a Bill by Close to My Heart. So I'm going to pull out actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to use my foam pad for this. And I'm just going to use the same colors that I did my cards with. Now, whenever something you need to take into consideration, and this is something I didn't know until my mailman told me, it was actually my post office. Post offices hate washi tape. They're not big fans of stickers because they get gunked up in their machine. So if you're going to do nail art, stick to ink, stick to paint, stick to stamps, because that way you can ensure it's going to get to your recipient in one piece, and you're not going to have made all of the mail people angry. Now, I forgot, with Close to My Heart, they have these little sheets that actually go with their stamps that you put down here. So if you ever get a stamp set that is clear like this, and it comes with a sheet like this, that's for you to stamp on. That provides that cling that you may not have, that this does not provide. You have to have a cling to a little bit of cushion to get a good image. And I have to stamp this way because I'm left-handed. And so this is the stamps that I'm using. It has Happy Mail, Special Delivery, To From, Made with Love, Better Than Junk Mail, This Is Not a Bill, Really, Handmade Card Inside, and then Hugs Enclosed. So I'm just going to take this one, and these little blocks I've had forever. I've had these probably for, oh gosh, 15, 16 years, and I love them. They have the edges are indented, so they're super easy to hold, and I really appreciate that. So I'm going to stamp this up in crystal blue, just on the bottom right here, handmade clothes. And then I'm going to stamp let's do off to over here, Happy Mail. And then this time I'm going to use the green, which is the Sweet Leaf. I really like how these stamp sets, they, look at that, the lid, it goes over. You don't have to worry about putting your lid off anywhere. The kind of pad that it is, it requires them to be stored upside down. So when you flip the lid over, your pad automatically goes upside down. It's so wonderful. Okay, so this is going to be off here. And then on the back, I want to go ahead and do Hugs Enclosed. And then I'm going to do that with Honey. And that is how I like to add a little something special to envelope. So this is done in Honey, and these totally coordinate with my stamp cards that I just created because the ink is the same. The colors are the same, so they all go together. All right, I provided for you the link to the Ink Road stamps down below, as well my heart. And again, this set is not available anymore, but they do have new stuff out that's really amazing, and I can't wait to get my hands on. And then also, you know, the Tonic Studio store with all those Nuvo drops on sale for 40% off. So take advantage of that if you want to try them. They are incredible, and I use them all of the time. Thank you so much again for joining me today. I'm Bets Golden. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Feel free to share. And